Alrighty. Alright, everything looks good. What's going on, guys? This is going to be live, but if anybody comes back and watches this, then you're going to be coming back and seeing the replay. So I'm going to try to keep everybody in mind, and I'll interact with people while we're live, but I'm also trying to keep this quick and snappy to the point for the people that come back and rewatch this. So pretty big news about both Safemoon and Evergrow. That's pretty much the main projects that I covered. That the only reason anybody even watched this channel was because I covered Safemoon and I told a lot of people about Evergrow. So there's actually something, I think it's happening on the same day. A really big date is happening for both Safemoon and Evergrow on May 6th, I believe is the date for both of them. So we'll go ahead and do Safemoon first, and then we will talk about what's going on with Evergrow. So with Safemoon, these documents have come out, and this is from the court case, and it's just got published. And this is showing how Thomas, Kyle, and John used the LP for personal benefit, and it's showing what they spent it on, and it's showing how much, which is ends up being quite a lot. So I know we kind of have forgotten about this and gone about our lives and whatever, but this case is about to happen next week, and you're going to finally see what happens with this case. So with this specific document, this shows Kyle, and the total amount for Kyle was $5.2 million that he used for his personal benefit from the LP. So it's LP used for personal benefit, and it's total traced personal benefit, meaning that it's been traced. Honestly, the work that they're using was that, like, what Coffee and Bootsy and all those guys did. They pretty much handed them the ability to trace all that. Otherwise, they would have had to figure out a lot of those things for themselves. Thomas's came out to about 3 million, and then John's came out to almost 10 million. And it's kind of funny when you read through this and you look at all the things that they got. Then you can see. So for Kyle, which people don't even know who he is or even really what he looks like some people do. He pulled out 1.5 million through Coinbase. He bought a property in Florida for 1.2 million. He bought a McLaren for almost 400K. Thomas, you know, it's crazy, and this is a large amount, but compared to like what Safemoon was, it's not like super crazy. Let's see, Thomas, he got a McLaren for 171,000. Binance, he pulled out about 500K. And Binance, I guess he bought a property or something for around 833,000. I don't know exactly what that is. And then John's is kind of funny. So he sent Jennifer Caroni 2.4 million, Bradford Caroni 1 million, Charles Caroni 500K, Grace Hunter 141,000. Properties, he has 3 properties, one in Utah for 2.2 million. One in Kansas for 387,000, and one in Salt Lake, Utah for 107,000. Then he bought like 5 cars, which is kind of crazy. So an Audi R8 for 277, another Audi R8 for 167, a Tesla for 168, Jeep Gladiator, and these are like the court documents. So Jeep Gladiator for 169,000, Ford F550 for 145,000. And then he sent about 1.3 million to his credit to his bank, to his personal account, and he sent another 850,000 to another account. And then he spent 22 grand on NFTs. So that and the court case is about to happen. So I believe it's on May 6th, but once you get information on that, you can confirm it, stay up to date with it. I'm not super invested in like keeping up to date with every single document that's coming out. I'm more so just want to see the end result, how all this plays out. Although it's pretty much ended a long time ago. Seeing, do they get in trouble? Do they get charged? Are they let go? Because we had a lot of people who, obviously there was a lot of, fighting on like, is he guilty? Is he innocent? You don't have proof. That's not proof. Wait and see what the court says, all that stuff. So a lot of people are waiting to see this. Like, either way, Safemoon's dead. Like, it got bought out by a VGX platform who relaunched it on the Solana chain. If you guys aren't keeping up to date with the Yeah, I know. It's trust me. I wish we could just like I wish I could just make a Safemoon video and like things were still bullish, but like things went downhill and here we are. That's okay. I also have updates on Evergrow. Some crazy stuff happened with Evergrow as well. So if you guys followed me into that, I'm gonna cover that next. But yeah, the court dates will be I believe it's May 6th, and we're gonna find out if they get charged and all that stuff, and the evidence is gonna get brought forward and whatnot. So I'll probably do more content on that. Probably not a ton, but just enough. If anything big happens, any big moments, then I'll cover it just to kind of close that chapter for this channel, because that's what this channel was really built on, was Safemoon and being a part of that community with you guys, going on that little journey and ride with all of you guys who followed my content and went through the team leaving to like all the craziness that Safemoon was. So what's up, Michael? How's it going, brother? So I'll keep you guys updated on that. So if you guys haven't been paying attention to Evergrow, I actually launched a project and we did a like partnership with them, and like they launched a staking platform, and some of the I guess previous devs they worked for, I guess a line of code got like left out, and so when they re-audited the contract like 10 times, it never got discovered. But when they launched the staking platform, there was basically not bad coding, but I guess a missing line of code, which I guess is bad, but it's not like code that you know what I mean. It's more like something should have been there rather than something was wrong, I guess. Um, but it allowed for somebody to go in and give themselves tokens and start to drain the liquidity. So once they launched that platform, the staking platform, they like immediately had to lock the liquidity. They had to grab it all to prevent it from being stolen by this exploiter, this person who exploited the contract. Crazy drama went down. Like my project, Control Token, we had just partnered with them, so we got kind of caught up in that because they had some of our supply to give in rewards, which they ended up giving back to us. So they basically had the liquidity and they had to decide how do they want to move forward. And they've decided through the community voting that basically Evergrow is relaunching as another project on Solana, and they're going to be called Cedar. If you guys aren't keeping up to date with that, some of you guys do, some of you guys don't, and you ask me, hey, what's going on with such and such? So if anybody asks me after I put out this video, then that's on you guys. So their relaunching is Cedar, and Cedar is like evergreen. So it's like Evergrow but evergreen, and it has it's more simpler and doesn't have that meme-ness to it of infinite money or whatever like that. Evergrow, stuff like that. So they're relaunching. They're also going to be launching the Atlas wallet very soon. So if you have Evergrow, you just need to connect with them, because I've got too much of my own stuff going on with projects and stuff that I'm working on, and you'll be able to find out about what you need to do to get your Cedar tokens and be ready for the launch. And you'll be able to figure out, I think they have like a 2.5% fee that's going to produce rewards. I think they also have rewards that are built up that you'll be able to gain access to. So Sam, I believe, is going to step down as the chairman, but he's going to continue to play a role with Atlas Wallet, and they've brought forth a committee of kind of the top people who got voted in to be part of a council to like put forth ideas to the community that can vote on them through the DAO. And basically it's going to be like community ran. Evergrow, it's turned into Cedar on Solana, and it's going to be community ran, decided by the council, nominated by the community, which can constantly change. If people don't like somebody, they can vote them out or vote somebody else new in, and it can grow to more people. So I know a lot of you guys from Safemoon followed me into Evergrow. It did really well, and now you might still hold it, you might not, but if you want that detailed information and questions, I'm not going to be the person for that. That's going to be them. Join the Discord, Telegram, follow the new Twitter, Cedar DAO, and get updates from them and everything that's going on. So yeah, I think that Cedar DAO is launching on the same day that John Caroni's court date, trial starts, I think. I'm pretty sure I saw that information. I was trying to find it again to show you guys, but I couldn't re-find it. So yeah, let's see. We got any questions? Michael, what's going on? Doing good, bro. I've been with you since the early days. It's been a while. Hope you're well. Awesome. Yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm I'm actually doing some very crazy things. You know, if you guys haven't been keeping up to date with what I've been up to, I bet it would blow your minds. And I'm not just saying that to say that. Control Token Fireman, what's going on? I don't know, man. I'm tired of all these tokens rebranding under different names. Do you think Cedar will be worth a buy or no? I have no idea. I have no idea if it will be good or not. What happened with your token, CC? Oh, do you want to know about Control Token? So Control Token was really designed from me covering Safemoon, and basically the reason that I started to design my own token was because the whales on Safemoon kept dumping the charts. Like every time we got momentum up, they would keep selling it down, and it felt like the whales were working against us. So through Control Token, through basically launching this new idea of taking liquidity that would usually go towards sellers and pulling it and delaying it and giving it to holders, we were able to store up a crazy amount of rewards. So let me just show you. So this is where our token's at. We have 106 days for my project. We have $221,000 in rewards to pay out to the holders in the staking pools. So, and we have 106 days for that to go up. So Control Token has kind of become what I call the control protocol. And so for any of you guys, you know, that's what's up with Safemoon, the court date, and there's going to be the trial. So we're finally going to see how all that plays out. And then this is what's going on with Evergrow. Follow them. There's Cedar DAO. You know, if you have tokens, you can migrate them or do whatever. You can decide if you want to buy them, follow them. You know, it's up to you to decide how involved you want to be in these kind of projects, if you are or you're not. So, but otherwise, I'm going to go on to what I've been up to, just to let you guys know that might want to know. Maybe some of you guys, hey, CC, we just want to hear about Safemoon, and Safemoon's dead, so we don't want to listen to you anymore. I totally get it. I appreciate you guys watching me when you guys did. So, or we just want to hear about Evergrow. We don't really care about, you know, just you told us about Evergrow, but we don't really want to hear what you're up to. Totally get that too. But this is what I've been up to. I launched this project, Control Token. We did a 10x over 4 months, and we built up all this value. And even though our chart went to a 10x and it came back down to around pre-sale price, we still have all these rewards built up, and everybody who's sold and left the project, they don't get these rewards. So I basically designed something that takes a huge portion of all that volume and then it gives it to the people who stay in the project. They don't get their rewards, right? They forfeited all these rewards and they had to pay into them. So this is going to sound crazy, but I think that I have the solution to fix DeFi. That's going to sound like a huge claim. But I'll try to simplify it in as simple way as I can. When people buy a token, they fuel liquidity that only goes to sellers. So everybody's chasing value, and the only way to get that value is to sell. So projects naturally incentivize people to get into a project and then dump it. So what I believe the solution to that is that nobody has this, by the way, what I'm about to tell you, which is what we're doing at Control, or what I'm doing, you know, is you take taxes and you allow for the buy fee to fuel two ideas: holding and selling. You need to reward people for holding. You need to reward people for selling. A lot of people don't really quite know how to reward for holding, and that's the solutions we've come up with. So we have Control Token. I'm also launching a token, and it just happens to be around the same time that Cedar's launching on theirs. We didn't plan that out. I don't coordinate with them. I don't really, you know, talk to them. I'm doing my own thing. They're doing their own thing. But we're launching a project called Soul Control, and it's I call it the biggest reward project on Solana. And if you're still with me from Safemoon or Evergrow, when you bought into Safemoon or Evergrow, you had to pay that 10% fee and that 14% fee for Evergrow. Do you remember that? When you bought, your bag would immediately take that hit. Well, what if you didn't have to take that hit, but you're still able to get the benefit of the rewards? Well, I've created that solution through Control Token. So we set aside 70% of the supply, and then we just give you extra tokens when you buy through the website. So we cover your buy fee, and we actually give you a little bit extra on top. So your bag comes out to more than what you purchase, and you're getting the benefit of buying into a 10% reward project. So we're the first crypto project to do that in the history of DeFi. Me covering Safemoon and covering Evergrow, I do kind of consider myself a little bit of an expert on reward projects because I obsessively studied them for a long time, and I know what works best. So we are you're buying into a reward project where your bag becomes more than what you put in, which no reward project in the history of crypto has ever done that, and then you're still getting rewards. You're not being rewarded in a token. With Safemoon, if you got your reflections, the price could go down and your reflections would go down. So with this one, you're being rewarded with Solana. You're being rewarded with the native coin for the Solana chain. You're getting Sol. You get 4% every hour, which is a lot. You get 2% that builds up for a week. And then you get 2% that builds up for an entire month, and then it goes to 5 holders. So what we do is we have software, it picks 5 random tokens, and if one of those tokens is in your wallet, then you get to split 2% of volume with 4 other people. So you get 5 winners at the end of the month, get to share 2% of volume. I mean, think about that. With certain projects, 2% of volume goes to everybody. The rewards aren't that great, but what if it only went to 5 people? And what if everybody had a chance to be one of those 5? This is kind of something really cool. So not only do we cover your buy fee, we give you extra tokens, so your bag, we even cover a portion of your sell fee. So you put in 1,000 and your bag comes out to 1,020, and you're getting Sol every hour, every week, and every month. So here's some numbers of what this looks like. If we hit 10 million in volume, 5 people, 5 random wallets are going to get all of their rewards, have their bag, and get $40,000 worth of Sol. Like that's math. There's no way to change that. That will happen. If we hit 10 million in volume, 5 holders, random wallets, and everybody has a chance, we'll get $40,000 worth of Sol. If we did 100 million in volume, 5 holders would get $400,000. And if we ever did 1 billion in volume in 1 month, which is a lot, that's like 3 million volume a day, we would get 5 people would get $4 million worth of Solana. So I don't get any team tokens. I get paid out of the treasury. And we have, obviously I'm doxxed, those of you guys that know me. So this is what I've been up to. I believe I'm going to change DeFi, and those of you guys that want to follow me, you can. But when you understand the tokenomics that I've made, if you thought like Safemoon and Evergrow in their early days was really good tokenomics, I can tell you now that Evergrow's was decent, but neither of them covered the buy fee. So we just cover the buy fee. You don't take that hit when you buy. And neither of them delayed value. So when you delay value, you take it out of the hands of the sellers. People can sell down their liquidity, but they can't sell down the rewards. And in fact, when they sell down, they increase the rewards. So basically, it's like me saying, let's take all the rewards from the people that leave the project in the beginning and give them to everybody that stays. It's a really cool model. All right, what you guys got in the chat for me? Yo, what's up, Anise? What happened to Cetus? I don't know, man. They didn't I don't know. They don't talk to me. They don't message me. Damn, Safemoon is still a thing. I mean, it's a thing in the sense that like John Caroni is gonna have trial next week. If you guys want to keep up to date with, what if John gets convicted or not. I did Safemoon, Evergrow, and all the Surge tokens. What happened to all the Surge? Is all the Surge just abandoned now? Matt Mugno, I have, Surge is not my project. That's Mark's, so you'll have to talk to him. I think they're still going, but I don't know. What chain is Control Token? Control Token's on BNB. If you just go to controltoken.net, you can check out the first project that I made, which is Control Token. We got the Control event. So we have 106 days left before our 12-month rewards, which is $221,000 worth of stablecoin, pays out. So Control Token actually is really crazy. The things that I've made, I'm not joking. You guys followed me. How often did I lie to you or mislead you? The things I've made will blow your freaking mind. If you haven't been keeping up to date with me, just put me to the test and look at these tokenomics and look what I've made and tell me it doesn't blow your mind. Something you've never heard of. I promise you, it's not some stupid thing. If you go to controltoken.net and you buy, we give you an extra 20% tokens when you purchase. So there's a 15% buy fee. We cover the entire buy fee, and we give you an extra 5% towards your sell fee, which means you put in $1,000 and now you have like $1,050. You buy and your bag's immediately up. That's no other crypto project in the history of crypto has done something like this. We're the first ones to do this. That's not it. Also, because there's delayed rewards, you're buying into these rewards. You're buying into the monthly, which is only 54 right now. You're buying into our 6-month rewards, which is 2,700. You're buying into $221,000. So what that means is because you're already buying into rewards that are delayed, it covers a portion of your bag. So I cover the buy fee by giving you extra tokens, and the rewards we have built up are like, if you buy and you stake, no worst case scenario, you can fall back on these rewards. And the rewards aren't massive, but it covers, like, I think the rewards cover like 30 to 40% of your buy-in fee. You throw 1,000, I think there's 300 to 400 rewards that'll cover your bag. And if you think that's not crazy, I've also created something called a prize pool. So these aren't just cool things. These like solve real problems with what's wrong with crypto. So we created this prize pool, and this is really crazy what we do. So what happens is 50% of your buys don't go towards liquidity, and they go towards paying out the people that fill this up. So as soon as this hits 10,000, it'll pay out only the people who bought into the prize pool a large amount. You'll get a huge payout. So 25 people will get $240. 4 people will get $3,000, and 1 person will get $12,000 when this fills. So when you're filling this up, you're buying, you get a full bag value. Like you get your full bag value, right? You do pay the tax, but because we take half and it goes towards liquidity, it puts buys on the chart. The other half goes towards rewarding the people who fill this up, and then it goes back to you in stablecoin. So like you push the chart up, get a bag, and you get stablecoin rewards without putting sells on the chart. I've come up with some like really crazy stuff. And yeah, as cool as these ideas are, what I have planned for the future, I could tell you stuff like I have crazy stuff planned, and you can follow me and keep up to date and put me to the test, and I'll show you guys. XUSD dead? No, it's not dead. Disgusted with it. I haven't been in my wallet in 2 years. What chain is Control token on? What's up, Soul Control? What's up, Cafe Control? Good to see you, brother. Silas good, mate. Thank you. Let's go Soul Control. Buying with Soul, correct? Yeah, so if you want to buy a Control token, this is on BNB. You can do it right through the site, and you can either do the swapper, get that extra 20% tokens, which is freaking nuts, or you can do the prize pool and get the chance of this really big payout once it fills. It has to fill though, so once it gets to 10,000 tickets, it'll fill and pay that out. So with Solana, this one's really easy. Just go to solcontrol.com. It's solctrl.com, and you have a contract address right here. It's 61R, and it ends in PI, so Pi. If anybody ever tracks that wallet, they'll probably call it the Pi wallet. So not because of PIE, but because of the equation or whatever. So we also have the white paper, and yeah, Soul Control is a pre-sale on Solana. So it's really me taking my best ideas and bringing it over to Solana. So I'm doxed. There's no team tokens, right? I didn't sell a single token of Control token. And our pre-sale did a 10x over 4 months. We're launching on Solana. We're hoping there's more attention, more traction, more liquidity, more action. And we have a really cool system, and I'll tell you guys this because you guys are my subscribers and have been with me a long time. We have weekly events for this. So when I set aside 70% of the supply and I lock it, and then I give it to you when you buy, right? So every time you buy, I cover your entire buy fee. You put in $100 and you lose that 10%. I say, here's extra tokens. I'm gonna fix that for you, and then I'm gonna give you a little bit on top. I'm gonna cover your sell fee too. So normally you pay 10 in, 10 out, right? But you get the benefit of the rewards. With this project, you pay 0 in, and only if you sell, you'll pay 8% because I'm giving you so many tokens when you buy. The cool part about this, and this is what I was like, I know no one's ever done this before, and I've talked to everybody about this, is that I can increase the amount of tokens that I give you when you buy. So I can lower the sell fee down to 1 or 2%. And then you can buy into a 10% buy sell tax project with Solana rewards every hour, every week, and every month, and only pay 1 to 2%. Like, this hasn't been done before. It's a new narrative, and it's really powerful because it takes really the only downside of tax tokens, which is that you have to pay a fee, and it eliminates it by giving you those extra tokens, which is really sweet. The other like really cool thing about this, We'll probably be launching in a week or two, Michael. And yeah, you just send Solana if you guys want to buy into this pre-sale. You just send Solana to this address, and you're in the pre-sale. We've raised about 60K right now, and we've only been live for like 2 days. And the website just went live like a couple hours ago. So people didn't even have the website or the white paper. So you go here, you can check out the white paper as well. We got a little intro video. We have this other intro video that I made, and I just published an explainer video. So I'll be posting content on my channel for you guys that want to keep up to date with that. Probably one of the most important things, like for anybody that ever watched me for Safemoon, what I have created is leagues beyond Safemoon, and it's in the sense that it's so much more fair for you. It's so much better for you. So that's my goal, is to make projects that reward the community for sticking around. You know, if Safemoon had these tokenomics where it takes rewards, it keeps them in a stable coin. So Safemoon would have rewarded in BNB and then delayed it by like a year. Then it would have stored up all those rewards, and the whales wouldn't have been getting them. And then if the whales would have sold and left, those rewards would have went to everybody who believed in the project, and it would have been a lot, right? Much better setup. It rewards the community instead of punishing them. Safemoon, kind of, the community became exit liquidity all the way to the bitter end, which is quite sad. And it's what caused me to create a system that fuels value into the future and then rewards the long-term believers, which no project is able to do that outside of the projects that I'm making, because you can do attacks and you can delay rewards, but most projects don't delay rewards. They usually just give them out right away. I delay rewards. I'll give some out right away, but I'll delay other rewards. So this is really important to understand, because the value in selling is almost always greater than the value in holding. So people are incentivized to like sell down and destroy your project and leave a community with a project that's very hard to get any kind of momentum happening. And if we don't solve that problem or provide a solution to that, then it's going to keep happening, right? So can you use Sol that is sitting on Coinbase? Can I send it to that address? I don't know if you can just use that account. I think you need to use a DeFi wallet. You want to send it to like a Trust wallet or a Phantom wallet or MetaMask, and then you send it to the contract. What's your link for Sol control? Yeah, so go to Sol. Let me move this so you guys can see it. Why isn't that not showing? What the heck? Okay. So it might be hard to see right there, but Sol Control, it's solctrl.com. If you go to that, it'll bring you to the website, and then you'll have the contract address right here. You just send Solana to that, and you're in it. Here's the cool part about this, is it's not just making tokens for the sake of making them, right? Most people are launching tokens because they're trying to get rich and they're trying to dump their own project. I'm actually trying to solve the #1 problem in DeFi, which is communities are being used as exit liquidity for the whales who sell. If we don't change that, crypto's not going to be able to grow, because people don't want to participate in a system that's constantly rigged against them, right? Some people do go to a lot, casinos and stuff, but most people don't, because it's rigged against you. And crypto's rigged against you. And if we don't make it more fair and better, and if we don't reward the community for working together to grow the project, then we're only rewarding the people who sell down a project. That's like incentivizing the failure of the project. So for me, it's common sense that you need to reward, incentivize growth of the project. And the only way to do that, since people are chasing value, is to have a project that builds value in the future that rewards people for chasing its future. That's the only way to do that. Utility can't compete with speculation. You have to use speculation, and speculation is buys from liquidity to fuel the future. And we've done that in a really powerful way. So you take 2% of volume and you give it to 5 holders, everybody has a chance. The smallest holder to the biggest holder. If it picks a random token, it could be in your bag, right? Now, the more tokens you have, the more likelihood that one of your tokens will be the one that gets selected. So you take 2% of volume, right? And then you only give it to 5 people. Those are huge rewards. That's a massive payout. And yes, if you have bigger bags, you're more likely to win, but you should win. Why? Because you have to hold for the entire month. And if you're holding for an entire month, then you're helping the project. So getting your whales to chase long-term growth or long-term rewards significantly helps the project do better. So, like I said, 10 million in volume. With only 10 million, 5 holders would get 40,000. So if you buy, like I said, I cover your buy fee, your bag's just starting out a little bit up, which is nuts. That's just never been done before. Then, because we give you extra tokens when you purchase through the website, then you get SOL, 4% SOL every hour. You get 2% every week. So 2% of volume builds up for an entire week, and then it pays out to all the holders at once. You get one big payout at the week. And then 2% builds up for an entire month, and then it pays out to 5 holders. It picks 5 random tokens. One wallet can only win once per month. You can win the next month again, but you can only win once per month to make it more fair for everybody else, to try to make more than one person winning. And those numbers are insane. I meant 5 people getting 40 grand with only 10 million in volume on Solana. Solana can have like crazy volume. 100 million in volume, that's like my goal. I really want to hit that. It's not easy. It may not happen, but that's what I really want to hit with this project. I don't put any sells on my own charts. I don't sell down a single token, right? Because I want the project to blow up as much as possible. I want it to do well for the community, right? So 100 million in volume would be 5 people getting $400,000. That's rewarding the people who believe in the project, the people who stay around and commit to the long-term growth. You can actually be rewarded for it. So, with projects, typically, if you don't sell down the chart, there's no significant value for you. But if we hit 100 million in volume, even if the chart gets sold down, 5 people, no matter what, even if somehow, and it's not possible, but if it was possible, the price go to 0, those rewards are still there. And 5 people are going to get $400,000 worth of Solana. The good thing about this is this changes the mindset from buying tokens to try to sell them by using the community as exit liquidity later down the line, to buy, hold, and get your rewards. And every token that you buy and every dip that you buy is increasing the amount of tokens that are increases the likelihood that you're going to be one of these 5 winners. And if you don't win the first month, you can win the second. If you don't win the second, you can win the third. A lot of people come in and they say, we want utility. And I say, I've got you. Because no one's ever launched a token like this before, because we have to build the tech to do this, and it's actually really hard to build on Solana. If we do well and people want to copy, or you guys want to copy and launch tokens like this, we can launch a launch pad where you can use these same tokenomics, where you can cover the buy fee and the sell fee, and when you can pick certain wallets to do a large payout to at the end of a time period. You might do a week or a couple months or a year or whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But launch pads can make a ton of money. It's not like we're competing with all these people. We have a very unique token that nobody's doing. And if people want to copy this token, if we do well, then we're creating a market of people that want to use our launchpad. That's really the huge thing about this token, is it has a utility built into. The more that it blows up, the more likely people will want to copy it, and they won't be able to do it anywhere other than our launchpad, because we'll have it built before everybody else who tries to copy us. So in the long term, if the project does well, if we hit 100 million, people are going to copy us. They're going to use our launchpad. The launchpad's going to generate revenue. Revenue is going to go back towards rewards on SOL control holders. That's a really great vision. So I design everything as good as I can, right? Significant value. When you're a whale, if there's not significant value in the future, then you're like, I'm going to sell down my bag, right? Who's not going to take profits? But if you know, wow, I have a really good chance of being one of those top winners, and there's 40 grand. I'll get all my rewards and the 40 grand, and I still have my bag. I can sell my bag, or I can hold and get rewards for the next month. But I think that, a big part of this is, if the project does well and then the launchpad does well, it'll incentivize everybody to just hold, because the rewards the profit from the utility, which launchpads can generate a ton. If you take a percentage of 5 tokens at launch, that can turn into hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars coming back towards SOL control holders. So it's a very realistic utility. It's not a shot in the dark if we compete against the top brands of exchanges or whatever, wallet, NFT, any of those top things that people are usually making. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it's not easy to compete with the top dogs if you don't have something very unique. We have something very unique for our utility that will continue to fuel rewards for a long time. So, all right, what do you guys got for me? Thanks, mate. Thanks. Safemoon and Evergrow updates. Scott B, you're tuning in late. I'll give you the what I already went over, which was in the beginning, that the court documents have put out information that. One second, I gotta check something. Okay, cool. These court documents, I'll go over this real fast if somebody's tuning in later. I already covered everything, but this basically shows what Kyle, Thomas, and John spent. And so this is like a court document that says LP used for personal benefit, and it says total traced personal benefit. So Kyle's was about 5 million, Thomas's was about 3 million, and John's was about 10 million. And it shows the people that they sent money to, the cars that they bought, which John bought like 5 vehicles, Tesla, Audis, Jeep, and a Ford F550, and the money that they sent to their bank accounts that came from the liquidity pool. So the other big thing about this is that Safemoon is, I believe the trial is finally starting on May 6th. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that that's when it's starting. So like next week, the trial is going to start, and we're going to find out, are they going to get convicted, the evidence, all that stuff. I'll keep you guys updated on the big stuff as it comes out. But this one's kind of big because it kind of just confirms that they have like documented and traced the amount of value they took from the LP and spent on themselves. The other thing is Cedar, Evergrow, if you guys haven't kept up to date with them, they're relaunching with the same token. So if you had Evergrow, you'll have a new token launching on Solana. And, you know, if you want any questions to that, you got to get it from them. I'm not working for them. So I'm just letting you know. I think they're launching on the same day that the trial starts for Safe. So they're launching on May 6th, and they're going to be launching on Solana as well. So those are the updates for Evergrow and Safemoon if you're tuning in late. Wow, shaking my head. Not surprising, though. Yeah, I know. Safemoon was a crazy ride, dude. It was crazy. All right, I'm intrigued, CC. I'll check out the new white paper. Awesome, Michael. Hey, you know, the problem I'm struggling with is people are chasing narratives, and everybody's trying to say everything to get anybody to get into their project. And I'm like trying to make real solutions, and I know I have real solutions. So I just got to build a strong community who believes in what we've created. I'm just stoked for Soul Control, hoping for big things. Yes, Soul Control is awesome, but it's really just it's a taste of what we can do. It's a very small taste of what I've discovered of what's possible. So I mean, if you can cover a buy fee, then why not do 30% buy fee and then cover it, and then you have 30% rewards? You know what I mean? So the roadmap that I have for Control token, for Control protocol, everything that we're doing is I have a lot planned. We have tokens that we make that you're never going to hear of a token. When I make a token, you've never heard of it. You've never heard of what I'm doing every single time. It's something new. I'm always doxed. I don't give myself any tokens. I don't give anybody any tokens. But the important part is, can we make DeFi better? And if I can if I can explain it to you in a way where you can say, okay, that's really the problem and that's really the solution, then you can know that what I'm doing is not just some cool trendy thing or cool reward project. It's actually the solution to the problem that we're all facing. And so when you have crypto and people buy up and all the value goes towards the people who sell, you're saying only the people who leave the project and sell their bags are going to win, and the people who stay, you're going to lose. The project gets sold down, everybody who didn't sell wishes they sold, and now they're waiting for marketing and utility. What's the problem with all of this is that we are not even chasing success. We're chasing to use each other as exit liquidity. We're chasing to dump the project. So the heart of this thing, it's actually not crypto, it's in stocks. It's the share model system stocks that started in like the 16th century with trading companies. If you go look it up, the problem was created when they tried to make a tool that allowed for you to buy a representation of a company. So you could get a supply, the price would move up. Now you have your supply. That created the problem of speculation, which was never fixed since it was created. The company utility didn't have to do well, but you could just convince a bunch of people to buy it and you could make a bunch of money, and it was faster, easier, and it could happen overnight. And you didn't have to produce something valuable. You just had to convince people that there was value. And so people just have to believe it, and it didn't even have to be true. You think about Safemoon, right? Safemoon freaking blew up, and it didn't have any utility. The liquidity was pulled. The reflections were only beneficial to the whales who were selling, and we all bought into that, right? And it still went to some crazy market cap and did all this crazy stuff. So crypto does not have to be successful for you to believe in it. And because it only requires belief, then all you have to do is convince people. But people are kind of tired of buying into narratives, and that's why I think the solutions that I have are desperately needed right now. So the entire purpose of why a share model system was created was so that people who believe in the company, believe in the community, believe in the project, want to stick around and see it succeed and benefit from its success. That's why it was created. The speculation that came in to say, hey, if you buy in and a bunch of other people buy and you can dump it, it caused people to chase value in dumping a project rather than staying in it. And that's existed in stocks, shares, and in crypto. That problem is across the board. So the solution is, and you have to understand this, is not utility necessarily. The solution is that the power comes from buys, right? With Safemoon, we hit that crazy billion market cap, whatever. Where was the power in Safemoon? Was it utility or speculation, right? It's always going to be speculation. So when people buy and they fuel liquidity that rewards selling, then you're only giving value to people for leaving the project. So if you can use tokenomics to change that value distribution and start to balance two ideas, staying and leaving, selling and holding. If you can reward holding, because right now it's selling and holding like this. And if you can start to balance that with tax tokenomics, you can start to allow people to say, do I really believe in this project or do I want to sell? Because if I believe in it, there's liquidity left for me to stay around. There's big rewards left for me. But if I don't believe in it, I think, man, these guys suck, I can sell and take my bag. The current system right now does 100% towards selling. There is no, it's completely speculative of if the price goes up and if the utility succeeds. But usually that doesn't happen, and then liquidity gets sold down, and there's no value left in the future of the project. Everybody who believed in it doesn't get any value, and they actually are punished for not selling down the liquidity. So when people are fueling a project, when you use tokenomics to fuel two ideas, the future of the project and the ability to leave the project, then you provide the holders or the investors the actual ability to decide whether or not they believe in that project or not. And I think you're going to find more often than not, people want to see a project succeed. If you had Safemoon tokenomics where it was storing up BNB, a lot of BNB, 10%, 20% BNB in the future, and it was paying it out in a large amount over the course of a year, you would have had the community that chased success, all of us who got like nothing out of Safemoon. We would have been greatly rewarded for sticking around in the project. You would have been rewarded for buying the dip. So I know I have the solution to DeFi. I know that this is the heart problem of DeFi, which is supply distribution and value distribution. It's like, think about it like this. If you build a rocket and you say, we had a bunch of people invest in this, but whoever destroys the rocket first, you get all the value that everybody invested, right? You'd say that's nuts. Why would you reward the people who destroy the rocket when we all want to go to the moon? And we'd just be like, that's just how it is, you know? And so that's exactly how a crypto is. If you only reward people for selling, then you're building up liquidity to sell it. You're building a community to use them as exit liquidity. And it's like building something to be destroyed because you're rewarding the destruction of it. So the liquidity builds up and it says, you better sell me down. So whoever sells me down gets all the value. Project gets sold down. Everybody who sells is happy. Everybody who doesn't sell is upset. That's not us working together to cause a project to succeed and being rewarded for it. And through tax, through tokenomics, and through everything that I've made, where you get rid of the buy fee, you delay liquidity, you give liquidity only to new buyers during a certain period of time, you can make crypto super fair for later buyers. You can reward the people who believe in the project, and you can pull value away from people for leaving the project, and you can create something more sustainable, more likely to succeed, and even if it doesn't, it's going to reward the people who deserve it more. Right now, crypto, if you zero tax token, it only rewards the people who sell on your project, and that's mostly insiders, teams, bad actors, KOLs. Like, the bad people in crypto are winning right now, and the good people are being sacrificed so that they can win. So I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I had a solution to this. And I actually was going to quit, crypto, but I got hired by Shiptoshi. I don't know if any of you guys like kept up with me. I got hired by Shiptoshi, who is the project Squidgrow. He also bought into Evergrow because of me. I don't know if he knows that, but a guy named Bad Anthony, who's an influencer, told Shiptoshi about Evergrow because he saw my video. So someone watched my video and then told the Shiba Inu whale crypto billionaire, and he bought Evergrow, and he did well with Evergrow as well. Well, he watched my content. He hired me. I got to go to New York NFT NYC. I got to meet Dogecoin millionaire Wendy O, some of the top people. We were the main sponsors for these crypto events. I was a part of this team. You can go watch the content. Safemoon Joe showed up. Like, if you guys haven't kept up with me, Safemoon Joe showed up, and we're hanging out in New York. I live in Oklahoma, so New York's a crazy ride for me. So I went from like walking away from crypto to being more involved in it than I've ever been. I met Evergrow Sam. I met Paul. I ran into Thomas from Safemoon. I ran into him at, I think it was Austin Consensus. He's wearing his freaking orange beanie. And I was like, Thomas, what are you doing here? Like walking around. Like everybody, I wouldn't go out in public if I was him, but as soon as I talked to him a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I'm Crypto Control. And I was like, can I get a photo? Because I just thought it'd be hilarious to have a photo with him. And he didn't want to do it. And then he like disappeared from the event, and I didn't see him anymore because he's a part of like another crypto team. But Thomas already pled guilty with this Safemoon trial. So, he kind of already like got a plea deal, right? For like, hey, I'm guilty and I'll give you guys whatever I know, and you lighten my sentence so it's not as bad. Whereas John is like trying to fight for his innocence, and Kyle is just on the run. I think he's just in another country, which is, this is the craziest thing ever. You know what I mean? I was in the second wave of Safemoon. I had 100K and I never sold. I wish I had sold. See, that's how everybody feels. I wish I had sold. 100K is a lot too. It is and it's not. You can blow 100K in a year like it's nothing. Control protocol is pretty incredible. If people applied these principles, it could revolutionize the industry. Yeah, and people don't realize it. So we're showing them through creating tokens that are like this, and we're going to create the platforms, the DEX, and the Launchpad, where you can create tokens unlike anything you've ever seen before. So just follow me, and you'll realize that I have something very special, and I just need people to realize it. It's just a matter of me working and getting people to realize it, and really building a community of people to say, look, we're not chasing exit liquidity. We're chasing to change crypto to get people from chasing to use each other as exit liquidity to actually chasing the success of the project and chasing value for each other. So I've created projects that you don't have to leave to get value. You can stay and get rewards, and you can stay and get big rewards. And you want to unite the team, the community, and the whales to work together, not to try to sell down the chart first. You know what I mean? So like, obviously that's got to be changed. Crypto control. So many people have been used and abused by crypto scams and scammers. That's why the crypto YouTube channels are dead. Crypto Atlas doesn't even get more than 100 views of video. Well, yeah, the altcoins aren't really blowing up this market. The greed took over. I thought I was going to hit $1 million. That's why I never sold. Never again. Yeah, I know how that feels, man. It's like one of the worst feelings. That's another reason why if you have delayed liquidity, everybody who doesn't sell and round trips their bags, if you store up take a tax of all that upward momentum, and then it gets sold down, just look at any chart. Take 10% of that and delay it. Now, everybody who didn't sell, they have that value to fall back on. And it's better than nothing, right? Normally it's nothing. So I know that what I'm creating is going to change crypto. I know it is. Vitron, I should have sold. Also put in about 5K and was over 25K at one time. I should have sold. Oh, wow. That's wild, Scott B says. Yep. So, we're still in this ride together, and, Cedar's launching, Evergrow's launching. It's launching as a new token, but it's the same holder. So if you have Evergrow, your token's relaunching on Solana, the Solana blockchain. Oh. All right. And I'm here, and that's why I say if you guys watch my content, and if you felt like I was honest to you during really hard times when people were attacking me, if you felt like I called Evergrow early and I let you know early about it, and I even told you when I was going to sell and I wasn't a whale, then if you felt like I have been honest with you, then like I would say what I have found, what I am doing is far bigger than SafeMoon. It's because it's a real solution. And I want to explain it this way. If you have 100% liquidity for selling most crypto projects, then you're only rewarding people for exiting the project, right? If you start to balance that 5% towards holding, well, now your incentives are like, okay, there's kind of rewards for holding, but most of the value is in leaving the project. So people are still going to exit your project. But what if you start to change that percentage? What if you start to do 10, 20, 30, 40% towards holding? Now people are going to go, these are the best reward projects I have ever seen. You couldn't do this, right? This wouldn't be possible to do a 20, 30% tax. Who's going to want to pay that? Nobody wants to pay a 20, 30% tax unless you can get rid of the buy fee, but still get the rewards from the buy fee. Do you see that? So it's not so much about tax tokens. It's about fueling two ideas, holding and selling. Crypto naturally fuels only selling, 100%. And so what I've discovered is a completely new way to do crypto where you can determine what you want that percentage to be, to say, and like ask yourself that question right now, anybody who listens to this. If you could choose your community, two questions. These are two questions I have for you. If you could choose what percent of your community you want to win, what would you choose? If you choose 100%, everybody gets their money back and everybody's even, right? If you choose 50%, then half the people, maybe they do a 2x or so. And if you choose 5, 10, 15%, then they get all the value that the 80% provided. That's question one. Question two is, do you want to, if you could choose, right? What percent of your community do you want to be rewarded for selling, and what percent do you want to be rewarded for holding? If you could choose, if I could just ask you, would you say, I only want 100% of the people who sell to get all the value? Or would you say, actually, I think I'd rather 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% of the people who are holding to get value? And this is the thing. If you answer that question and you say, if your answer is 100% towards selling, then that's crypto as it is right now. But if you say, no, I think the holders should be rewarded significantly, and you say maybe 30, 40%, then I'm the only one in the history of crypto who can provide that. Because people can't pay a 30 to 40% fee. They're not going to pay that and have their bag go down almost 50% at launch. But if you provide extra tokens and you give them extra tokens, because they're providing liquidity, and they're providing liquidity in the form of rewards. When you pay a tax, you're still providing liquidity. It's just the difference between liquidity that goes to the price and liquidity that goes towards rewards. So I believe that if you're providing liquidity and rewards, you shouldn't lose your tokens for it. What that allows for us is, because we have that solution, if you're following with me, if you're keeping up with me, you'll realize, no, I'm not famous. No, I haven't blown up yet. My projects haven't blown up yet. But this solution is the solution to the problem as I see it. There is no other solution to the problem. The main problem that crypto faces is that it incentivizes you to dump the project. So everybody just chases getting as big a supply as they can and dumping the project. Nobody's chasing the community. No one's chasing the success of the project. And everybody who does loses to the people who chase exiting the project. It's designed to be a pump and dump. It's failure by design. Communities are built up to be destroyed. The project's built to be destroyed. The liquidity's built up to be taken by the whales that exit the project. That misaligns everybody's interest with the success of the project, with the thing that we're claiming to be united around. A utility, a meme, whatever it is, we should be chasing success and growth and being rewarded for it. We need a system that rewards us for chasing the growth of the project, for staying around. Well, reward projects reward you for staying around. We just got to find ways to get significant value into your hands, which is why Soul Control does that. But this is just, when I tell you guys this stuff, and eventually I'm going to quit talking about it, and I'm just going to start doing it like we're doing Soul Control right now. Yeah, it's one of the things I liked about UCC, and you weren't afraid to say what you thought, while other Safemoon channels were nothing but fake positivity to protect their bags. Yeah, like if I could get the people who used to watch my content to realize how much better the things I'm making are for you than everything you've ever been in, and to support me, because it's like everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm launching a token, do this, and everybody's just like, I don't want to, you're surrounded by everybody trying to get you to buy into their stuff, and everybody has got their walls up. And I'm like, hey, I've actually found something that rewards the community for believing in the project. It builds up value. The more we chase the growth of the project, the more we'll be rewarded for it, and we don't have to leave. That's crazy that that's even a thing that you can do. And that's okay, because my confidence is in the fact that my projects, whether they do a 100x or a 10x or a 1000x, it's going to reward the community in a much better way. It's going to reward the believers, the people who stay, and it's going to significantly reward you. It's far more fair, far more sustainable. So when people sell and they 10x their original bag value, then has a larger tax on it. Yeah, a tax that can change with your bag would be a very powerful project. I've thought about that, but I haven't found a way to get that yet. But if you could have people who get a 100x have a higher tax than people who only have a 2x, you'd have a very powerful project. You would literally have taxes based on, like, hierarchy or whatever. My opinion, there should be a tax for when your bag 3x, like a 3% tax for everything your bag doubles past 3x. Yeah, that's a really good idea. And if I find a way to do that can't be abused, because most of the time solutions can be abused, that it actually evens out quite nicely. You get to kick back all the holders, not random for that part. So people who hold when the price goes down, it counter injects into the holders' wallets. Yeah, that's a really, like, if you could do, somebody who does 100x, if you could do like a 50% tax, and I know that might sound crazy, but you're still getting a 50x, you know what I mean? You could really balance crypto to make it more fair. People would just have to agree to say, would you really want to lose half your bag if you did 100x? Yeah, Cafe, let's throw up the Sol Control. So anybody can go to solctrl.com. I have an intro video. So we have this really cool concept of control, right? Crypto control, control token, Sol Control. It's all about taking control of the project and really giving it to the community to give them the power to chase success and be rewarded for it, rather than dumping a project. That's really the heart of what I'm doing. So really cool animation. It goes back and forth. There's the contract right there. There's the white paper. This white paper really delves into what Sol Control is. We have this really cool intro video. I won't blow your ears out with the music, but I made this. Obviously, I'm a content creator, so I made this video, and it's a good video. You get Sol Control, Sol every hour, Sol every week. It's actually kind of intense. I'll turn it up a little bit. I'm sorry if I blow your ears out. No buy fee. That's right. No team tokens. That's right. Huge announcement every week. Yep. Rewards build into large payouts. Yep. 5 winners split 2% of all monthly volume. Every holder gets rewards. We give you extra tokens when you buy. The more tokens, the more rewards for everyone. Pretty epic, like, trailer, isn't it? Yep, I made that. We'll have a rewards calculator that's going to be really good. It's going to show you how much you'll get. It'll track the real-time data of what the circulating supply is, and then you put in your bag and put in the volume, and you'll get what your rewards will be. So the rewards at the start of any reward project are always, like, off the charts. It's like the best math video that you'll ever see for any reward project is going to be when the price is at its lowest. The tokenomics are 70% locked, and then 24% goes towards the pre-sale and liquidity. We're going to have to decide what's best as we figure out what our raise is, which we're at about 60K right now, but we have marketing that we're going to be starting. And 6% for KOLs and marketing. We'll see what we do with that. I have a different plan of what I think I want to do with that. But I don't really like giving out tokens to put sell pressure on the charts. It might be something like I'll give people tokens that are locked for the first month or something like that, and then they can collect the bag and the rewards or something along those lines. We'll see how that goes. I might just burn those tokens, to be honest. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's possible through an algorithm of your price to token ratio. Yeah, something like that. That's the tricky part. I would lose half the bag for 100. Thanks. Hey, no problem, Cafe Control. How long locked or community-driven unlocks? for the tokens. I'm not sure what you mean. The 70% locked. The only way to get this 70% is when you buy. So you get like an extra 13 to 14% tokens when you buy. The only way that this locked comes into supply is if people purchase the liquidity pool. So it's going to be very hard to buy up that supply. And the good part is we can cover your buy fee for a very long time. And I can increase the amount of tokens I give you. I can give you 20%. I can give you a lot of tokens on top. I can make it more fair for later people, and I can really keep that momentum going. So we've seen some very powerful stuff with that. Each week, a new announcement. I'm making an announcement every week when we do the big payout every week. So we got really 4 weeks before the big monthly payout. We just have 1 month, and it's me saying to a community, work with me for 1 month to try to blow up a project. I'm putting zero sell pressure on the charts. You guys are getting rewards. You're getting a big payout. If we do well, we'll have a launch pad that people want to use, and you'll have utility revenue. Trying to get the whales, the community, everybody to say, hey guys, get behind something that's going to reward you for chasing its success. You need somebody that you can trust who's doxed. You need no team tokens. You need people that aren't going to put sell pressure on the charts. You need your whales to be incentivized to stick around. And so with the whales, you're going to be getting the best rewards as a whale, and you're going to be getting, you have the most likelihood of getting that big payout. So if we hit 10 million in volume, 5 holders get 40,000. So it picks a random token. If you're a whale, the likelihood of that being your token is significantly higher than everybody else's, right? And then it picks one. If it's not you, it picks another. If it's not you, it picks another. If it's not you, it picks another. If it is you, and then you can win again next month. If we hit 100 million in volume, it's $400,000. And the thing I love about this is, as a whale, it creates huge value in staying in the project. And even if you win, you don't have to sell. You still have your bag. So we're rewarding you without you having to leave the project, with the best rewards and huge payouts at the end of the month. And like I said, if we get that utility revenue from the launchpad going, then it could be sustainable for a long time, which could make it one of the best tokens to exist. But we've got to get this momentum. We've got to get a community going. I've got to get people to get behind me and realize I can trust this guy, and he's making projects I've never seen before. And we're on a mission to make DeFi better. We're not just launching tokens for the sake of launching them. Okay, makes sense for the tokens. Locked, community-driven unlocks. Thanks. Awesome. Hey, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to be doing more videos, more live streams. I'll keep you guys updated on the Safemoon and Cedar, Evergrow content. And yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys want to keep up to date with me, join Twitter X and follow my Twitter account. It's CryptoControl3. Also follow the Soul Control official account. You'll see that if you go to the Met website. All this stuff's on the website. So that I'm more active on Twitter, and YouTube is where I come to do streams occasionally and to post content. So yeah, so even if people buy in with huge bags, they're fueling rewards. So it's like whether buys or sells happen, the future's being fueled. If people are buying, the rewards go up. People sell, the rewards go up. People buy again, the rewards go up. So that's the kind of structure we have. Is it don't matter what you're doing. If anything's happening, we're building a future for ourselves that is going to help create value. If people are chasing value, if they chase the future value, then we can all chase growth and success. I think that model is what how supplies and stocks and shares should be. But really what we're doing is not just trying to force it to be a certain way. We're providing people the ability to make the kind of cryptos they want. That's why I ask you, what would you want? Would you want 30% delayed, 20% delayed, 40%? Do you want 100% to go towards selling? Well, welcome to crypto. That's how it is. Do you want 20, 30% to go towards holding? How do you want it to go to the holders? Do you want it to be rewards to everybody? Do you want it to be rewards to staking? Do you want it to be kind of like randomly picking people and giving them a large amount? It's about giving people the tools to align their community to be rewarded for chasing the long term of the project. Is there staking, or do you just earn SOL? You just earn SOL through holding. So you don't have to do anything, which is nice. You just buy, and then you could forget about your wallet and come back, and you could be one of the big winners or have all your SOL built up. Yeah, I get that for sure. Yeah, it would be one aspect of it, not the big picture. I got you. Just mention it. I definitely see it all. Awesome, man. Hey, I appreciate that. Well, guys, I'm going to jump off here, and I really appreciate you guys that have been on this ride with me. And if you want to go on a crazier ride, Safemoon was a crazy ride, Evergrow was a crazy ride, crypto has been a crazy ride for me, Bitcoin, and I went and saw Bitcoin Nashville. I went into Austin Consensus. I went to NFT NYC. Like, my life has been really crazy, but why I'm in crypto now is to provide cryptos that you've never experienced, and they're better. They're not just different and still suck. They're better in the sense that they are going to shift significant value to the long-term believers. And what I'm really trying to show people, and I've said this before, I'm going to say this, I'm going to end this. If you have to choose between these two hands, right? And I say I've got $20 in this hand for you, and I've maybe got something in this, but maybe not. You're probably going to take it safe and say, I'll just take the 20. Sometimes people might be like, maybe he's got 100 or something. But the idea is that if I told you I've got, or if I give you an option to like do something, like, hey, do you want to go outside? If I say I'll give you $100 if you go outside, but I'll give you $90 if you stay in, now you can actually make a decision based on whether or not you actually believe in the idea or not, because the value is similar. But if all the value only goes towards one, going outside, you're going to go outside, because that's where the value's at. Unless you really hate it outside, you're going to go outside. And those aren't maybe the best examples, but what I'm saying is, if all the value only goes to the sellers of a project, they're going to sell. And so if you can change that dynamic and start to balance it, really, it's about balancing it. It's not about completely getting rid of selling, but it's about balancing selling with holding and creating a system that rewards both, that's more sustainable, so that people can actually be like, I love this project or I hate this project. People will say this project sucks and they sell it down. Well, worst case scenario, maybe the project does suck, but at least some value will go back to everybody who didn't sell. Best case scenario, you have a system that builds value when people buy. It stores up value in the future, that it creates a future that's worth chasing, that is rewarding for you for chasing it. Crypto is not set up that way right now. Awesome. Hey, I'll go live again soon, and just like I said, I have something that will blow your minds. This is what I have: taxless tokenomics. That's where we cover your buy fee. It doesn't mean that you don't have a buy fee. It means after you pay the fee, you provide the rewards that everybody wants. We give you extra tokens to make you whole, to make your back whole. So you don't have to take that hit, but everybody's still providing rewards for everybody. That's the beauty of taxless tokenomics. I call it taxless because you're still getting the benefit of tokenomics, but you don't have to pay the tax. Taxless tokenomics. Delayed liquidity. Delayed liquidity is taking rewards, and instead of giving them out immediately, we delay it and we build up a future for ourselves. So if value is like the life of the project, the liquidity, the price is, and the price goes up, people get more excited, more bullish, more belief. It goes down, people get scared, less bullish, and they lose faith in the project. That's the value is literally the life of the project, and if you can delay that value, you can preserve the life of the project. So you have value that you build up that can be sold down, and now everybody loses faith in the project. But if you have delayed liquidity that can't be sold down, you build up value that can't be sold. So you're preserving the belief in the project. You're preserving hype in the project, and you're creating a future that's worth chasing. That's delayed liquidity. Tiered tokenomics is probably one of my most favorite things that I've come up with. So, like, say that you buy a reward project, right? And you pay that 10% tax. Well, everybody who's already a holder, you're paying into rewards for everybody. They're going to eat up all the rewards, and it's not really fair for the people who are coming in at a 100x, right? You're not going to barely get any rewards, and your bag's going to be nothing compared to everybody else. I actually came up with a solution for this, and it's really good. Tiered tokenomics, what it does is it says we're going to take a percentage of volume, and it's only going to go towards new buyers for a period of time. So only the people who bought this week are competing for a percentage of that volume. Instead of all of those rewards going to everybody, a certain percent of it will only go towards the buyers for that week. So you can buy and get significant value within that week. It makes it more fair for later buyers. It incentivizes everyone to buy instead of only new people. And it makes it so much more fair for later buyers. I have come up with the best solutions, and I'm not done yet, for crypto to make it more fair, more sustainable, to align your interests with the future of the project. And I'm just building this out. You're just going to watch me build this stuff. So That's tiered tokenomics. So if you go to my YouTube, you'll watch a video. I'll explain all this. It's called The Evolution of Tokenomics. I explain all of this. Taxless tokenomics, delayed liquidity, tiered tokenomics, sell less fees. Sell less fees is the one thing that I didn't make, but we just took from somebody else and we implemented it. In sell less fees, what it does is it collects the value before it hands so that it doesn't have to put sells in the chart. So normally with reward projects, you collect the token, then you sell down the token, then you create rewards. Sell less fees, when you buy, it takes the value before it goes into the liquidity pool. And so you don't have to put any sells on the chart, but you're still getting rewards. So think about combining all of these things: tiered liquidity, sell less fees, taxless tokenomics into one project. I can't do sell-less fees with Sol Control, but I can do delayed liquidity, and I can do taxless tokenomics. And we have a huge payout at the end of the month. But the next project I do, it'll be the highest tax project you've ever seen, where the tax is covered. It will be tiered liquidity, and it will not be putting sells on the chart. It'll be like the best reward project, I believe. This is the best reward project on Solana, I believe, right now. Sol Control, the one that I'm making right now. In the sense that, not in the sense of growth. I'm not saying we guaranteed are hitting 100x or 100 million in volume. But I think it's the best in the sense of it's the most rewarding and fair project where it doesn't punish you for buying the project. That's why I call it the best project. It could be, if we as a community and as marketing and everything make it a top crypto, it could be the biggest reward project on Solana. But what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to quit holding back, and the next project after this, I believe, will be the best reward project in the history of crypto. There will not be a better project than the one that I do after this. It's either going to be on our own DEX or it'll launch on another chain, but whatever I do next will be the best reward project crypto has ever seen. It'll be the most rewarding rewards that you did not even think were possible. There's no way that that's possible, is what you're going to say. So if you watch me and you say, oh, this guy's bullcrap, whatever, that's fine. That's your decision to make. Like, that's why I say everything's a risk, right? I told people about Evergrow. You didn't have to do that. I told people about Safemoon. I warned about it. People didn't listen to me. Some people did, whatever. I might be wrong. I might be right. I'm not saying I'm always right. I'm just saying you have to choose whether you listen to me or whether you follow me. But I'm telling you guys, and I've tried to tell my community, hey guys, these things are beyond anything you've ever heard of. I go and I talk to the top people in the space. I go to the top shill spaces. I talk to the top people. They don't even know that it's possible to do these things. They've never heard of it. So I will be providing projects that nobody has ever heard of or experienced, the most rewarding projects. The projects that reward holding more than any other crypto in the history of crypto is what I'm providing. And then I'm providing everybody what we're providing is the projects so that people can experience it, but we're also providing the tools for people to make it. So we have the ability to benefit from Control Token, because Control Token, it will benefit from every token we launch and from every utility we make. The ability to create these experiences through our own tokens, but also the ability to create your own version of what we're making. That's where the power really comes in, is if you have hundreds to thousands of people making these types of tokens, which is the goal, then people are going to quickly find out how much value do they really want delayed. How do you attach value to the success of the project? It's going to be a better experience for people. If you go to a casino and you're more likely to win, or there's value to fall back on, you're going to go to that casino over the one that you always lose at. And so I believe it's just a matter of time. It's purely just a matter of time. How many tokens can I launch where we don't give any team tokens and I'm doxed, and you have significantly delayed value before one of these tokens does well? That's really the game we're playing right now. So I appreciate you guys being here with Sol Control. I gave an update on Safemoon, Evergrow, and Sol Control and Control Token. I'm going to go ahead and end this space, and I'll see you guys on Twitter, YouTube, it's the solution to crypto is delayed liquidity. And that might sound like confusing. What do you mean delayed liquidity? It's just value that's attached to the long term of the project. That's really all it is. All right, guys, I'll read your comments, then I'm going to jump out of here. Website is fire. Thank you, Cafe Control. I appreciate that. 100%. What's up with Control Token? Rob, you're tuning in a little bit late. You might just want to re-watch this. Control Token is become far beyond what it initially was. So makes sense to do it, but you need heavy marketing once it's going. Fingers are crossed for the project man. Yep, we have a lot of value, a lot of money we're going to be spending on marketing, so hopefully it does well. Quick update on Control Token. Every token we launch will benefit Control Token. Every utility we launch will benefit Control Token. So this Soul Control we're launching right now is going to benefit you as a Control Token holder. Let's go. Way to go. Yeah, super hype. And we're small right now. So it's like, if you're looking for that thing that you feel early on, and you think about this, I don't give myself any tokens. Every project I launch, you know I'm not going to put one cell on that chart. You get the benefit of that, right? You know I'm doxxed. You know I live in Oklahoma. You get the benefit of that. You get the benefit that you know that you can trust me, really. You also get the benefit that it's not just a token that only rewards selling. You know I'm doing my best to alleviate sell pressure and to incentivize growth because I want to make a top crypto. Not because I want to be famous, but because I want to show people that crypto can be more than using each other as exit liquidity. And it'll be better if we don't, right? If you can create a crypto where the more that we work together, the more we are rewarded, and the more that we sell down each other, the less rewarded, then you're going to have something that's more sustainable. But right now, if selling and leaving the project is like where all the value's at, then you're only rewarding people for selling and leaving projects and for hurting the growth and the success and the bullishness. You're rewarding the destruction of the project. It's how typical cryptos work right now. All right, guys, so that's a quick update on everything. You guys have a great day. It's great to catch up with you guys. I'd love to see more of you guys if you guys watch this later. It's great to see you guys. I'll do more lives, and I'd really love to hear. I got 14,000 subscribers. Where are you guys? Get your butts in here, and let's talk about crypto. Let's do this. If I can get my subscribers to join me, even if I got a couple hundred people, we would have a massively strong army to push what I'm doing to success, which would benefit you guys.